Bonjour. We will be starting packet 4.1 or liste 4.1, starting with activité 1, which says faire les courses, to go grocery shopping or to do the errands. D'accord? It says mets les produits en bas dans le bon magasin. Put the products below or on bottom in the right store. D'accord? So you've got la boulangerie, l'épicerie, le boucher, le pâtisserie, le petit kiosque et tabac, and la charcuterie. D'accord? So some of this will require some cultural knowledge. So, boulangerie is a bakery, which is different from une pâtisserie, which does desserts and designer things. D'accord? So la boulangerie will have different kinds of breads, and there are many different kinds of breads and bread shapes and whatnot. So those will go in there. L'épicerie does mean at its core a spice store, but this is what you call a convenience store, kind of. When you go into une épicerie in France, they have your basic needs. So they're going to have eggs, they're going to have different things in cans and in boxes and bags. So you'll have like sugar and flour and milk, usually boxed milk. You'll have cans of vegetables, etc. D'accord. Let me just check and see if there's anything else on there. Yeah, your basics. D'accord. It'll have your basics that you can either get in a bigger grocery store or you can go to la petite épicerie. D'accord. Le petit kiosque et tabac. Tabac in France is usually a corner store, so it specializes in having magazines and newspapers and any sort of paper products like that. And that's what the kiosk is as well, but it's usually in the street instead of along the street or at the corner. They'll also have candy. It'll be a lot of candy and chips, just like a gas station would have here. And they'll sell cigarettes. D'accord? Which, let's see if that's even on there. Looks like, oh, yeah, it is. With another cultural thing, in Europe, cigarettes, actually, they might here too. Cigarettes are required to advertise fumer tue, which means smoking kills. D'accord? Bon, le boucher is the butcher, and la charcuterie, well, I guess it would be anyways. La charcuterie, this says chez le boucher, which means at the house of the butcher, which is la boucherie, right? That's what gave me pause there. Bon. There's two different kinds of butchers in France, and that's because traditionally anything that's a pork product is at a different place. So a charcuterie we might think of as a delicatessen or a deli because it's got sliced meats, but it usually only has ham as well, stuff that's a pork product. D'accord? Whereas le boucher is going to be anything that's cow or poultry or any of that. D'accord? So when you're looking and choosing between these things, ask yourself, is it ham? If it's ham or it has pork product, it'll go in the charcuterie. Cool. Sausages are usually encased in pig intestine, so that's a little hint for you. Cool. And then there's our friend Clotaire on his bike. Because he has un vélo de course. I don't know if you remember that joke from the movie, but an errand bike, which also means a racing bike. Bon, let's do activité 2. You've got the verb prendre. Remember that it's SS nothing and n plus n equals double n, but also I forgot to write on here, no D. Oop, what did I do wrong? No D. Drop the D on the right-hand side. Cool, and don't forget the past participle. Here is, again, just like you had on your notes, some cognates, cool, or words built from prendre. And then we're going to do exercice 3, prendre ou, un mot de même origine. It's missing the word ou here, which means or. Bon, so numéro 1. Tu dois blank la pizza. Elle est très bonne. Remember, infinitive. D'accord? All right, moving on. So check for infinitives and check for modal verbs and auxiliary verbs so you can put the infinitive and the past participle. Bon. 4, go ahead and conjugate the verb boire. D'accord? And then in numéro 5, it says, le samedi matin, Saturday morning, finish this paragraph avec la bonne forme du verbe entre parenthèses, with the right form or the correct form, the good form of the verb between parentheses. Dans tous les espaces ici, in all the spaces here. So you've got, le samedi matin, mes amis et moi allons à la pâtisserie et au café. Pour y arriver, in order to arrive there, moi et ma copine, nous, me and my girlfriend, we, and we want to conjugate the verb prendre. So nous prenons toujours. Where's my? Oh, there it is. Toujours la ligne D du métro. We always take the D line of the metro. D'accord? I think this is pretty straightforward. D'accord? The one thing that's a little bit bizarre is at the bottom. D'accord? You conjugate prendre and boire. D'accord? But you're going to talk about your own preferences. So what do you have for breakfast? For me, I would say je prends du lait, right? Milk. But you could say je prends un jus d'orange. I have an orange juice. Or je prends de l'eau. I have water. D'accord? Oh, sorry. Those were drinks. That should go with je bois. But you might say je prends. Do I have waffles? The word for waffles here? I thought I had put waffles along here as a little hint for you. Well, here's some things that you might say in case you want to use them for the end there. So des céréales, cereals. Yes, you do have to make it plural. Des gaufres, waffles. What else do people have for breakfast? Des crêpes américains. You could say American crepes for pancakes, although a French person would probably just say des pancakes. Cool. Or you can choose one of these desserts and say what looks good. Beignet, that's a donut. D'accord? Or one of these and just toss it in there. Bon. Exercice 6 is des phrases déshydratées. It says write a complete sentence in using the given elements. So all you have to do is string the sentence together while conjugating the verb, basically. Je got comprendre, so we'll conjugate it and make it comprend. Le français et l'espagnol. I understand French and Spanish. So you'll do it just like that. Nothing tricky in there. Bon. Au café, you're going to choose between prendre and boire. D'accord? Au café means at the café, so complète les phrases avec les bonnes conjugaisons de prendre ou boire. Complete it with the right conjugation of prendre and boire. So we blank coffee in the morning is obviously going to be boire. Remember that boire on the right-hand side, you use bouve plus the ending. So nous buvons du café le matin. We drink coffee in the morning. Bon. And then exercice 8, and this will be the last exercice. It says write a complete phrase using the photo and the verbs prendre and boire. So obviously this is a drink. We'll say je bois. D'accord? And then coffee is du café. You could also say un café. Both of those are logical. D'accord? Du café, un café, it doesn't matter. I think you know how to say all these things. You certainly know water. Coke is du coca. D'accord? And fries are des frites. Croissant is the same in English, so you should know that. Okay, boom. That is it. D'accord? So pretty easy because it's all verb conjugation. Well, mostly.